This is the 12 match races of Christmas, where us, the Triple Clowns, present to you some dream matchups. We are constantly working on original and I think groundbreaking horse racing shows that are informative and also, at the end of the day, fun, guys. So hit that like, subscribe button, and that notification bell. Also follow us on Twitter at Clowns Triple and all other social media platforms, because we are going to bring you new shows. That's right, new shows that include horse racing conspiracies and odd stories, handicapping 101. We're going to do live picks from the track, and of course, our show where we interview great guests and we do some horse racing skits that are a good time. Support us so we can keep going, trailblazing in the horse racing industry. From AJ Ryder, Sarah Marie, and of course, myself, G. Randall Johnson. Happy holidays, and let's get it on with the 12 match races of Christmas. All right, everybody, welcome. We are here once again, and this match is a little bit different, let's just say. It's going to be a triple threat match between, AJ, how should we put these guys? The almost, maybe, could have, pretty close guys.
Triple crown.
What could have been.
What could have been. The what could have been, which we feel like we've lived that life, AJ. I know that's true. We're, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. That's what I say. And that's this crowd. And that is going to be Smarty Jones, Funny Cide, and War Emblem. Match race. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a match race, right? It'd be a 3-horse race. It'd be a 3-horse race. It'd be a 3-horse race at a 1.25 miles on the dirt. I have to ask you guys right away, right now, what's the temperature at what we're on at? Because this could make a difference.
Ooh.
AJ, what's the temperature?
69.
Okay. You always mature, AJ Ryder. Fantastic.
Well,
It's
of course.
69. Wow, that was, I didn't even think I was leading him into that, but
That's
apparently I did.
Have you
without
met
hesitation.
AJ?
Okay. All right. Let's get back to this. Okay. And I'd like to welcome who's going to be representing Smarty Jones in this battle, triple threat battle. And that is Tom from Tom and Tom Racing. We see him on Razor's show at night.
Pub
What's
Sports
that on?
Radio?
Sports
That's
Radio.
on Pub Sports Radio. It's every Tuesday and Thursday. We do a couple pop-up shows every once in a while on the weekends. But yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday we cap out everything and we hit some winners.
Absolutely. Yeah, they do a great job, guys. Check them out. Definitely a friend of our show. He was on a little bit of one of our shows with Sarge that we were doing. We were doing picks and live stuff like that, but this is the first time he's been on one of our taped shows. So welcome, Tom. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me. It's my favorite horse ever, so I appreciate it.
I know. Well, he did call it out when we were talking about it. He said, I will rep Smarty Jones any time. I said, well, funny you say that because we have something built up for you right here. Smarty Jones, favorite racehorse of all time. So this is our tale of the tape. And in the red corner, hailing from Chester County, Pennsylvania, with an incredible record of 9 starts, 8 wins, 1 second. His major wins include the Count Fleet Stakes, Southwest Stakes, Rebel Stakes, Arkansas Derby, Preakness Stakes, and of course the Kentucky Derby. He was your U.S. champion 3-year-old of the year in 2004. That is Smarty Jones. And in the blue corner, hailing from Georgetown, Kentucky, with an impressive record of 13 starts, 7 wins, 0 seconds, and 0 thirds. His major wins include the Illinois Derby, the Haskell Invitational Handicap, the Preakness Stakes, and of course the Kentucky Derby. This is your American Champion 3-year-old of the year in 2002, War Emblem. And in the green corner, hailing from Versailles, Kentucky, with an incredible record of 38 starts, 11 wins, 6 seconds, and 8 thirds. His major wins include the Bertram Bongard Stakes, Sleepy Hollow Stakes, Breeders' Cup Handicap, Jockey Gold Cup, Kings Point Handicap, Dominion Day Stakes, Wadsworth Memorial Handicap, a Preakness winner, and another Kentucky Derby winner. This was your 3-year-old U.S. Champion Male of the Year in 2003. That is Funny Cide.
All right. Well, our contest consists of 3 rounds. The first round, each contestant in our show will have an opportunity to present their opening argument. Each opening argument will be limited to 1 minute only. The second round is the Q&A with the judges. Each judges will get an opportunity to ask each contestant as many questions about each horse as they'd like. There is no time limit on this round. The final round consists of a free-for-all battle royale lasting 1 minute 30 seconds, where each contestant goes back and forth presenting their argument, and well, we'll just see what happens then. And at the end of the 3 rounds, the remaining 2 judges will then confer and decide our winner.
So that's it. And this is the moment of the truth all the time, Tom. Now, what the deal is with this one, obviously, you get to pick 2 clowns, and they'll decide on what horse they're going to choose. But you get to choose the 2 clowns to go against, and the one will be the judge.
Well, this is tough. I'm going to pick Randy and AJ.
All right. We leave.
I want Funny Side.
Good, because I want War Emblem.
Good.
You thought I had Funny Side, didn't you?
I thought for sure you were going to go Funny Side.
Nope. I'm going to War Emblem. Okay. All right. So now you get to choose, Tom. We give everybody this choice. Would you like to go first, second, or third in your opening argument?
You know what? As the guest, I will. I'll watch both of you guys, and then I'll state my opening statement.
Smart move.
How noble of you.
Smart move.
Thank you, Tom.
Nice. Thank you.
I can listen to the nonsense we spew out, so you can just criticize it. I get it.
He's just preparing to mic drop on both of you.
AJ, what do you want? You or me? What do you want?
Well, you already prepared for this horse. I have to now gather my notes and transfer them.
So you're AJ unprepared. So that's good. He won't be paying attention during my argument.
Oh boy!
Exactly.
All right. Well,
so let's
get ready. We're gonna start round 1. Each of you will have a minute for your opening arguments, and Randy will be starting with you now.
All right, War Emblem. Let's talk about this horse. Obviously, he was 7 for 13 in his lifetime. That's fine. We have a better story. I know everybody's going to talk about Funny Side and everything like that, but War Emblem, let's talk about 21-1 at the Derby. Wasn't a favorite like these other guys. Won the Illinois Derby. And the sheik who bought that horse 2 weeks before the Derby, he knew something. He won the Illinois Derby. They say he was the fastest they've ever seen at a track besides AJ Ryder in his state finals, by the way, in Illinois. And he got $1 million bonus for that. He bought the horse. He had faith in him. We're talking, I know he has one dimension, lone speed, but there's nobody going to the turn with him. And you can't catch him. I know he's one-dimensional. That's fine. He only lost to Belmont because he fell on his knees at the start and still made a mid-move because he hates to be behind horses, but he has one dimension. He couldn't do it if he doesn't go to lead, has to go to the lead. He had Medaglia d'Oro, Perfect Drift, Harlan's Holiday, better horses he went against, and he looked like a better horse at that time.
Wow. That was the first time he had a perfectly timed argument here. Woo!
All right.
All right, AJ, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay, so this is a 1.25 miles. This is about speed, and these 3 2-for-3 horses. Clearly, the best one here is Funny Side. Equibase-wise, 120 3 times throughout his career, 120 or higher, height of 22. Neither of these horses can touch that. The Preakness, I believe 122, had the fastest of the 3 Kentucky Derbies. Smarty Jones, I get a little bit past because it was a little bit sloppy. But as far as talking about, one-on-one with Randy's horse, I'm going to try to take him out. The horse he lost to, I know he went to his knees, but he still lost. The horse he lost to in that Belmont, Funny Side actually came back and beat when he was 4. Not to mention, this horse actually ran till he was 4, proved even more so than all of these other horses.
Time.
Do I have more time? I don't know. I felt like it was going long.
Oh, God, you had 10 seconds left.
Oh, did I?
Can I go on his?
Equibase, better than everyone.
All right. You cannot go on his. You got to hold that off for round 3.
AJ Ryder, short of words. That was on.
Wow.
I mean, what's going on?
I told you, my notes are an absolute mess because I had to prepare for the other one too. So everything's kind of all over the place.
All right. Good. All right.
He had a good, strong argument here. All right. Tom, are you ready? All right, Tom. And start.
Smarty Jones. He is America's horse. He is Philadelphia's horse.
Jesus Christ.
9 starts, 8 firsts, 1 second. $7 million in earnings in 1 year. all in 1 year. 2004 Eclipse winner. He won the Kentucky Derby out of the 15 hole, out of the auxiliary gate. He won. I don't know if you guys know what he did in the Preakness, but he won it by 11 and a half lengths, still a record that stands to this day. Every race that he won except for his first race, were stakes races. And he won them all except for the last race. He won the Arkansas Derby, the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness. He won the Pennsylvania Nursery Stakes by 15 lengths in just his second race. He is the people's horse.
All right,
With the
yeah.
Rocky theme in the background. Yes, we heard that. That's very nice. Very nice.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Uh,
I feel like just for the
all right.
music.
Okay, good job. That's funny. All right.
All right, let's move on to round 2. This will be a Q&A where I get to question all of you guys. I'm going to start off with AJ's question here, and all 3 of you will have a chance to answer this. Pace scenario. How do you think this race is going to be run? AJ, we'll start with you.
Well, I think going by pace, War Emblem obviously is going to want the lead, and here's the the catch here is he's got 2 absolute monsters that are going to be right on his hip, or if not far behind at all. So the fact that you can think that War Emblem is going to be able to not only come down the stretch and fight off Smarty Jones and Funny Side, I think you're nuts.
Well, I think you're right. Well, number one, that I'm nuts. I'll agree with that. But I'm not nuts because of this, okay? There's other reasons that make me nuts. But you're right. War Emblem's going to go to the lead. But War Emblem has wore down just as good of horses before. No one passes War Emblem. It doesn't happen. It's never happened before. Why would it happen before? And let's just talk about, has Smarty Jones ever passed a horse? And when Funny Side did it, Mike Smith basically gave him a gateway to whatever. He didn't pass a horse. He didn't even see the horse. He went so wide around the last turn. So, you're talking about these horses running by horses? No, I think it finishes how it goes around the turn. Because I think that's how these horses are. So that's my pace.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's going to wire this race, and I think I agree with both Randy and AJ. I think War Emblem's going to get out front, but I think the same thing's going to happen that we saw in the Derby. I think Stuart Elliott is going to find that rail, and I think he's going to bypass everybody in the last few legs. And I think I clearly see Smarty Jones. I think War Emblem is going to run out of steam. I think Funny Side, it's going to be a Smarty Jones, Funny Side, War Emblem in that order.
Can I ask you, is this Smarty Jones on the sauce or off the sauce? Jason Service.
John Service.
John Service. John Service, who's still trained to this
John.
day. He's still training. Yes, no, wrong service.
That's okay.
Then let's
That's
ask
okay.
about
He's still
War
on
Emblem.
the sauce.
Let's
And not
ask
to mention too, like
let's-
War Emblem,
all right.
War Emblem, anything
Let's talk
over
War
1 for 4, anything at 1.25 miles or above. Like this, he don't have the distance. He got it one time. Other than that, he was finishing 5th and 6th and 7th, 10th.
No one ever ran
if you
by
want,
him, though.
and if you want to talk about Juice, let's talk about Juice. Let's talk about War Emblem. Who was his trainer?
Wow, let's hold that thought. Let's
Wow,
hold
we're
that
going to the
thought
Bob Baffert.
for,
That was later
Bam.
on.
let's
a little
hold
bit.
that thought for round 3.
You brought that upon yourself.
Let's hold on to that.
I know I was going to have that in my hip pocket, but
I know. Keep that in
I
your
know
hip,
you were.
Keep that in your hip pocket for round 3. But I do have a couple more questions. I do want to ask about time.
Here the whole time.
Now I know AJ, you brought up Funny Side's time of being I think you said one of the fastest in the Kentucky Derby. I'm just talking Kentucky Derby. Do you think, now I know Smarty Jones was 2:04, War Emblem was 2:01:13, and Funny Side was 2:01:19. Very, very close between those two. But obviously conditions come into play and whatnot. What do you think the times are going to be this time around? Do you think they can pull off a closer, their margin of victory is pretty good for all 3 of these horses for what they came out to be. Do you think that the times are going to be a little bit faster, the 3 of them, because they're kind of going to be pressing each other?
Well, I think time-wise, it's going to depend on what type of pace that War Emblem's going to set. And I think if he comes out hot, I just don't think there's that distance there. But, I mean, I would imagine we'd see a similar 1-0 or 201, 202 for Funny Side when he wins.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think, once again, times get thrown out the window. I'm sorry, go to any track in the country and look at the record times from horses, and you won't even know their names, like 90% of them. Never heard of the horse. So,
Agreed.
you know, I mean, yeah, I mean, look at She Dares the Devil has the Acorn record, right? Let's say She Dares the Devil is better than what? Ruffian? Come on. That's just silly. But like, seriously, I mean, you're going to see every track in the world is going to have some track record holder that's terrible. Not terrible, but somebody you don't know. Besides what Secretariat did and everything like that. Monarchos used to be tied with Secretariat. Now they've moved the clock a little bit. The Secretariat has them by a little bit. Would anybody say Monarchos is good at Secretariat? No. So I think the time's going to be, I think all three of these horses run their race. I don't think it's going to be like the time's going to be better because they got bumped around or something like that. They all ran their race. So they'll probably around the same time that they ran before. And they'll all be at the wire near each other.
And that's you look at the Preakness times and the weather of the Preakness for all three races. I watched them this morning were picture perfect Maryland days, and Smarty Jones had the best time of the Preakness, a fraction of a second or two, if that. But and then as AJ alluded to earlier, Smarty had the mud at the Derby, finished 204 next to Funny Side's 201.19 and War Emblem's 201.13. But I think picture perfect day. In May, I see exactly what I was saying earlier with the Smarty Jones Funny Side and War Emblem in that same order.
Which I have to say, 201.13, when you're saying he doesn't have that distance, that's crazy. We're at 201.13. He's got the
one
distance.
time. Hit it one time. Hit it one time. You want to talk about numbers? Like, obviously,
We
you
had to
don't
do it one
want to talk
time.
about
Okay,
time. Just talk about
hold
numbers.
on.
Time form numbers.
My last
Best
question-
across the board.
Oh,
Funny
boy.
Side.
My last question, I think we need to go into the Battle Royale, but I do want to bring up competition. Now, Randy did bring up War Emblem's competition as Mondagliadoro. AJ brought up some horses. Smarty Jones, what do you think that he's got up some horses? I mean, you look at Funny Side, Empire Maker, and Peace Rules, Mondagliadoro for War Emblem. Smarty Jones, what do you think?
Smarty beat Tappet. He beat Birdstone.
I
Lost
kind of wanted
Birdstone.
stuff on the record.
Birdstone?
Lionheart. He beat Lionheart twice with Mike Smith. He also beat Rock Hard 10 with your friend of mine, Gary Stevens, in the Preakness. Jerry Bailey on Eddington in the Preakness. At the Rebel Stakes with he beat Purge with Johnny V. I mean, these are not Hall of Fame horses. They are top tier horses. He Purge with Prado in the Arkansas Derby. That's where the competition. I'm going to say a little bit
330.
a little bit more even. I don't see a clear cut winner. It was all very similar because they raced 3 years. You know, the Derby 3 years apart. Similar. It was similar horses that they beat. I think.
I'll agree with what he's saying with competition wise. I think Funny Side of the competition wise has the least.
The least?
Of the competition side. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, the least. Yeah, Funny Side I think had the least of those two. Yes, of the Smarty Jones and I think the least. I mean, I think barely.
The Fire Maker was no slouch.
No, but it was like his only one, really. I mean, Birdstone, you can say, you know. I mean, that was Birdstone too, right? Yeah.
Well, and I don't even think Funny Side wins the Derby if Sky Mesa was not scratched. I mean, ifs and whats, but that's just. You know,
You guys been drinking today, huh?
All right. AJ,
Guys hitting the sauce a little early this morning?
Yeah, you tell us about
AJ,
Empire
what's your
Maker.
rebuttal here?
Well, the reason, I mean, if one or two of these races go a different way, obviously the Belmont's the big one, or, you know, the Haskell, you put a Haskell win and the in the Wood in Funny Side's name, all of a sudden the level that he is head and shoulders above these two. I think.
Let me ask you this:
when I look at Mondagliadoro, Peace Rules, Empire Maker, like you said, Sky Mesa, I think the competition during this point in time, not to mention he ran against like Ghost Sapper. Like I think the competition he was running against at that time was crazy.
At the time later on in his peak, though. We're talking about their peaks.
I'm just
Yeah, even the 3-year-old.
His 3-year-old
All
crop.
right.
That's what I'm
Hold
talking
on,
about.
let him finish, and then I think.
Well, we
after
are
this, I
talking
think
about.
we need to go into the
So
battle
we are
royale
talking about
because
peak. We are talking
AJ's
about
getting
peak. So
fired
we
up.
want to talk about peak. We don't have to talk about the Derby years. I have a
You're right.
4-year-old horse now against your 2 3-year-olds.
Yeah, that's
If you
fine.
want to talk about peak,
That's
not to
fine.
like.
All right.
Okay.
Hold that thought. Tom, do you have any last remarks for our Q&A round before I move on to the battle royale?
What's this called?
Let's get to it.
All right, let's move on. Round 3. You guys have a minute. I'll give us a little bit longer. I'll go 2 minutes since we're talking 3 horses. This is the battle royale where you guys just get to battle it out, and your time begins now.
Okay, I'm going to
You're
start
gonna
real
play
quick.
music
I'm-
for this
I'm
one
going-
too?
I'm going after AJ real quick on this one because I understand that Barkley Tag, this is his second greatest horse of all time. We all know this. Behind 'tis the law, right, AJ?
That's a matter of opinion, which is an opinion I don't share.
I'm just kidding, obviously, but I just knew that would get to him. But Barkley Tag, I feel like made up excuses for this horse, and I'm gonna tell you that. Like, what he couldn't come out here and win because he didn't like the heat. That's what he said. He didn't like the heat. We're talking about that. You know who's gonna put heat on him? War Emblem.
Guess what? It doesn't matter how
That's
if
who's gonna
it's
put
hot.
heat on him.
It's 69 degrees out in this race, so it doesn't
That's
matter what the
actually-
heat is.
Yeah, that's okay. But I mean, you're talking about a horse that had excuses. And the only reason he ran when he was 4 still really and kept running because he was gelded. I mean, that's fine. But you really think he was better when he was 4? Do you? Doesn't really look like
No,
it.
where did he finish in the classic? 9th?
9th, 7th, and 9th. Yeah, exactly. That's
But where
what
did
I'm saying.
where did your War Emblem?
He didn't go.
Four
you-
times.
wait,
Four
wait,
times this horse.
wait.
4 times this horse. This horse has run an above
He ran
120,
6th.
121 time form figure.
Oh, he had
Neither
trouble
of
on
your
the
horses can even come close to that.
I'm telling you right now, War Emblem in a classic
If I
type
look,
of
if I
matchup
look,
where he
if I
can't
look
go
at
to the
Smarty Jones
lead,
running an average of
he
like
loses.
a 105, and I see a horse who's done 120 plus 4 times, who are you taking in that race? You know
Let
who
me-
you're
I'm
taking.
taking
let-
a horse
let me
that's never
give
been
you-
passed.
Let Tom.
Let me just defend my guy. All of his wins came at different distances. That's unprecedented. He also put asses in the seats. So 120,000 people watched.
We
him
don't
at the
care about the
Belmont.
gate for this match race.
Hey,
You know,
We
he
ain't making
was-
no money off of
right,
it.
He-
the
he
Jets
was-
sell out home games, Tom. The Jets sell out home games.
Yeah, they sell them out, but people show up.
He's similar to a horse. He's similar to a Authentic, I think, with a short racing career.
Oh, don't
And-
bash Authentic like that. Come on.
Ow! With a short racing career and in retirement, he alone saved Philadelphia Park Racing. They were thinking about closing it until Smarty Jones' popularity in the Philadelphia area brought the casinos into Philadelphia. Now we have racing still at Philadelphia Park because of Smarty Jones.
All right. Well,
Right.
listen, I said he was a better story. And I feel like I have to say, and I got to say this out loud, that and here at the Triple Clowns, we don't believe in being prejudiced, racist, and we only discriminate against one creed, and it's the one who likes tis the law. But just because War Emblem happened to be a homosexual horse doesn't mean you guys don't have to hate on it.
All right, and that is time. We are going to end it on that note. Wow.
Can I explain why he's a homosexual horse? Do you guys know this?
You have to explain it now.
Okay.
No.
He actually wouldn't breed. He didn't take to mares at all.
You can't say it all. He
Some
did.
people have. Some people have.
But
No, they brought mares
This is
over
me.
and he just wouldn't, and he was fertile and he just didn't like mares. He just didn't. So
So
I feel like you guys are bigots and you're going against the.
I'm like,
No.
wow.
I never even brought
You know,
that argument
I-
up. You're the
feel
one who
like
brought
you-
that up. I
you
view
know-
all horses, no matter what their sexual preferences, as equals.
Your horse is a chic-owned horse. And Bob Baffert, I've got little Smarty Jones owned by an 80-year-old man. He is blue
He's
collar.
80, then he'd
He
be
is-
100. Well, yeah, he might be 90 now.
He's dead now, Pat Chapman. But
Oh, the
we're not-
owner. I thought you
we're
meant
not
the
we're not owned by sheiks. We're just regular working people, just like Smarty Jones. We're
Well,
Americans.
Oh, wow. He's the people's
listen,
horse.
like I
Bam.
said, the Smarty Jones argument with him being the people's one, and we always get hit in the face with this one. But like I said, at the end of the day, Rudy Rudiger didn't go on to go to the NFL. But they all chanted Rudy. I think Funny Side, I just think at the end of the day, guys, I think that I think whoever goes to turn wins this race. I just never saw this horse get run down. I think this horse wasn't a great racehorse in the sense of one-dimensional, more than your guys.
No, dear Lord. Anyways, let's jump into the deliberation. Like I said, I'll just be kind of spouting off things that you guys said, and I'll be deliberating with our audience. You guys can obviously let me know in the comments. Out of the three of these horses, who do you think is going to win this race? I want to say this is kind of tough for me because I have to put my research aside because I kind of came into this thinking a certain way. And I really was kind of taken aback. I think a really strong point. I mean, AJ obviously brought up times, and that's why I kind of questioned it. I know you're a numbers guy, and yes, War Emblem and Funny Side tied in Equibase numbers for their Derby run, where Smarty Jones came in only at 111, which is like not much difference. While War Emblem and Funny Side were 115. You had some really good facts about War Emblem and his competition. And that is kind of why I asked that, because War Emblem, I thought, might have had the tougher competition in his career, or in his, I would say, like the 3-year-old prime versus these other two, which is a little bit hard to say because Empire Maker was a very good horse that Funny Side had to battle against. But Tom had a lot of really, really strong selling points for me on Smarty Jones. And I guess, to be honest, I was kind of looking for someone to sell me off of Smarty Jones. And you really just sold me more and more on Smarty Jones. And to me, I think it's hard to pick between Funny Side and Smarty Jones. But I'm going to sway more towards Smarty Jones here with my deliberations.
So Funny Side got second then, at least, right?
Can I just add that? Can I just add how overrated?
I still finished place, right?
Can I add how
you all hit the board?
Can I add how overrated Empire Maker is? He just makes good babies because he won 4 races in his career. Empire Maker. I feel like we hear that name and we're like, oh wow.
You know what? That's a good point. That actually is a really good point.
Tappet, who you said he beat Tappet? That was a good one. Empire Maker wasn't. Tappet's a good one to beat.
Oh, I just see these 3 horses. If you really press them, just say along the turn, I really see Smarty Jones possibly tiring these 2.
Oh, I think you meant going to the lead.
No. No, not going to lead, but I see these horses are just going to tire each other out, and I see Smarty Jones coming out on top. This was tough. I mean, I'm not going to lie. This was really tough for me.
It was a really good race. I think you're crazy that you think Borum will be out of it because I don't think that horse is ever out of it.
I think he's out of it halfway through the race.
You're nuts.
I agree.
Bam.
I had him coming in third. I had him coming in third. Yeah.
So clearly you played the exacta Funny Side, Smarty Jones. And
I
then,
did Smarty.
You tossed War Emblem here.
Smarty Jones.
Smarty Jones all.
I bet you hit the try. Just box the 3 horses. You hit the try.
Yeah. You at least hit the try with this one. But yes, that is. We'll go with that. That's my decision. Smarty Jones is winning this race.
Did the music help? It was the music that did it, right?
That was that. I don't know if that was legal. I'm not sure. That's like using.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, no, we didn't say it in the rules. So
I did that. I mean, I kind of went into this being like, I really don't know. And then you started playing Rocky, and I was like, that was it. You could be trying to convince me on another horse that I haven't even know nothing about.
Yeah, no, I think
you could be selling me a quarter horse trying to win this.
That's a hell of a
quarter. Like, yep, nope, Rocky music done. This horse could win anything.
At the end of the day, it really would be a hell of a race in the sense of you do have a horse in War Emblem that it is true. When War Emblem went to the lead, he was tough to pass. He had a gear that he didn't like, and they said he was the kind of horse that was like that horse couldn't ever be behind a horse when walking around. Was like an angry, just had to be. And even when he made that huge move after he fell and then got bumped
That was very
And he was
impressive
like
in the
last.
Belmont.
He made that
he
rocket
came up to
move.
get
Yeah,
second.
he's
I
still.
mean, you can't do that. Like Bob Baffert said, it was like the worst 2.5 minutes because he was like, "Oh, he's done." I
Right.
mean, but he still had to work.
He still
his
hit the
hardest.
board after that.
No, he didn't.
I thought he did.
No.
Oh.
That was way off.
And I got like
Oh.
10th.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't know why I was thinking.
I mean, his
second.
mid move was ridiculous. His second quarter was probably like a record
Yeah.
time. He was like a rocket. But it'd be weird to see a horse break clean like that. Have a horse in Smarty Jones that almost kind of needs the lead in a sense, but it's not going to get it. And be clear. And then you have Funny Side, who I think Funny Side would come in third in that. I really do. I think it would be if Smarty Jones can pass or Emblem. I don't think they're both passing him, honestly. But I think it'd be a great race because of that. You have three horses with almost the same three styles.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Very similar styles. Yeah.
That's why I got to go with, like, if they all have early speed, lone speed style, I got to go with the one with the most. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep. And I just
Clearly, no one else agreed with you. So
Well, that's what happens here.
That's all right. Hey,
I'm not-
I didn't see any second or third place here.
We're putting these on later.
Good lord.
I'm not one to blame jockeys, but I know Stu Elliott got a lot of crap for losing the Belmont with Smarty Jones, and I don't think it was his fault, for the record.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Not to blame the jockey guy, but that was
Birdstone was really good for like 2 races.
Yeah. Yep. For two, and I shouldn't have put him in my argument.
Did you see me when I said I was like Birdstone?
Yeah. I was just rattling off stuff.
All right, so that was it. Sarah, going with
Smarty Jones.
Smarty Jones. So did you start with Smarty Jones? Did you know you were going to take Smarty Jones in the beginning? Not no.
No, I was kind of leaning more towards Funny Side after doing my
So
research.
Alex blew the argument, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Tom, it's awesome to have you on our
Thank you
show
for having
again.
me.
Thank you. And why don't you tell everybody where they can check you out on your Tuesday and Thursday nights? And follow you on your Twitter.
Absolutely. You can follow me on Tom Racing 1 on Twitter. I put some picks out there. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. But I know I'm pretty good at the Mid-Atlantic tracks, especially Parks and Delaware. Every Tuesday and Thursday, and Laurel. Every Tuesday and Thursday, you can watch me on Pub Sports Radio, where I break down handicap races with razor sharp picks and a few other fellas, and we just have a couple beers, have a good time, goof around, and more times than not, we win some money. So please, if anybody wants to hop on, I know the Clowns will make some guest appearances. They'll pop in chat, they'll pop on live, and it's fun. So Tuesday, Thursdays, Pub Sports Radio, and thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. No, absolutely, Tom.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on. And that's awesome. So follow Tom. He's live on Twitter a lot. I do see that. He doesn't sleep like me. I noticed that because I'll wake up in the middle of the night and he's up doing his Twitter thing. I do see that sometimes.
Yeah, but then definitely check out Pub Sports Radio Tuesday and Thursday
Yeah, it's a lot of
nights
fun.
on
It's a
YouTube.
lot of
It is
fun.
a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
we do like to pop in every now and then to say hi to the guys. So, but yes, Tom, happy holidays to you and your family, and thank you so much for jumping on and
Likewise.
doing this tough.
Yes, thanks,
tough
Tom.
race.
Happy holidays. Enjoy.
Happy
Happy holidays to everybody,
All right. Thank you.
even AJ.
Triple Clowns is a production of the team at Big Umbrella. Rate and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts. Send us your questions at tripleclowns@gmail.com and you may be featured on a future episode. Follow us on social media at ClownsTriple on Twitter and Instagram, and follow me, AJ Ryder, at Troy McClain WWE on Twitter. Like and subscribe to our show on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. All right, guys, for AJ Ryder, I'm out of here. See you later, everybody.